Oh, cool.
But also, just think of how difficult it can be to move a large piece of furniture with a team. There is no intricate movement required.
Mm-hmm.
You're just trying to get things going the same direction. Now imagine trying to control a facial expression with just one other person. So you're totally in sync, and now that team is not only an actor who's doing all the physical motion, because emotion wears into your whole body, but 4 other people you're coordinating this tiny little movement with that has to be completely in sync with the guy talking and doing the mouth, and the guy doing the facial expression for the eyebrows, and for like every tiny little bit, these people had to become one person.
That's insanity.
And they got good enough at it that they were doing like Good Morning America, like improvised dialogue as a team of 5.
That's insane.
That's so insane. I cannot imagine.
The Henson team is just like, they're miracle workers when it comes to puppets. That's insanity. Wow.
Yeah. And there were several characters that were many puppeteers in this one because of all the animatronic facial expressions and stuff.
Yeah.
I think that there is a system now that Henson has developed that sort of controls all of that on one panel. So it can be a smaller team or even one person doing all of the animatronics for a single character.
Mm-hmm.
But in that, it was all, I mean, what's the word I'm looking for? It was all still manual. It was mechanical.
Right.
You know, you had to be able to control your particular thing. It wasn't fed into a relay that would digitize the controls in any way.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So they had to have 5 whole people. So there were that many things to control.
Man, that just blows me away.
Yeah.
You know, I
crazy.
Didn't watch the special features. Hopefully by the time this comes out and people listen to this episode and they want a digital version of this, so Amazon Video, if you go onto their Prime Video or their wherever they do their digital videos and you look up Labyrinth, they'll say they are no longer selling or renting Labyrinth. But if you go to Google, type it in, it will say you can rent it from Amazon. And if you click on that, you can buy it for $0. So I got the Labyrinth for free from Amazon. So I think there's some sort of glitch. I'm not saying go out and steal, but free movie.
Damn it, Ian, I bought it like 7 or 8 years ago.
Well, now you can have it digitally on Amazon Prime.
I have it digitally on Amazon. I paid money for it 7 or 8 years ago.
Well, now you can have it twice for the price of once.
I think I have it on Google Play also. I think I paid money for it twice.
Oh, man. You're broken.
I know.
But it's a good broken. So, that all being said, I haven't watched the special features recently, but one thing that I do remember that I find absolutely fascinating in the making of this was that David Bowie couldn't juggle the glass balls. And so they had someone who could, and she would stick her...
It was a juggler named Michael Motion.
Michael. Oh, that's right. That's right. Who was I thinking of? There was a lady who does it. Oh, whatever. But he would put his arms underneath David Bowie's armpit and essentially do his hands through it. And if that doesn't just portray the insanity of this movie, is they had someone juggling blind in front of David Bowie's face. Just insane. I love this movie. It's so insane. Okay, so before I tell you my favorite character design, other than Ludo's my favorite character, but there is a specific character in the Goblins that is my favorite design of all. I want to know what yours is. What's your favorite
My
creature?
favorite goblin?
Yeah, yes. Or non-hero character. So no Didymus, no Hoggle, no Ludo.
I really like the cannonball one.
Mhm.
He gets shot out of the cannonball and sticks into a wall, and his little legs and arms are wiggling.
Yes.
I like that guy.
That one's your favorite?
Yeah.
That one's a close second for me. I love the cavalry.
Hmm.
There's just something about that like weird ostrich monster that has arms that are holding on to the legs of the knight. Like, just everything about it is just the weirdest thing, and I love it.
Yeah.
But I do love the cannonball with legs. And it has a slight Italian accent. It's like, where are we going? That the goblin voices are very Python. Like
The goblin, I believe all the goblin voices are just done by the puppeteers.
well,
A lot of the main characters, the puppeteers would record the voices on set, and then they would be re-recorded by an actor in post. Except for Hoggle. Hoggle was voiced by Brian Henson on accident.
on accident.
Well, he was doing the voice to be replaced, and people just fell in love with his terrible accent. Thought it was funny, so they kept it.
Well, there you go. Who did the voice for Didymus? Was that
Are you already on IMDb?
Yeah, but it's not helpful
it's sort of
because
a shit show.
they've got like 2 people listed for Hoggle. There's 3 people listed for Didymus. Was it David Goals? It might have, or David Shaughnessy.
I don't know. It was. I just heard of it somewhere. In one of those special features. But
Yeah.
I just can't remember.
I loved Didymus's voice.
Mm-hmm.
He got that dog yip with the noble, like noble lord accent too. It was such a weird accent, but I love it.
Yeah.
The only thing that is weird voice-wise in this was there's a couple of scenes where it felt like they had to do voiceover for Jennifer Connelly. Like the whole opening when she's at home
Sure.
sounded like it to me, which was weird having VO for that. But
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, and Frank Oz is in this movie, but he doesn't voice any characters. He's the puppeteer for the wise men with the bird hat, but someone else does the voice.
Right.
Michael Hordern does the voice for the wise man. I just find that so odd that Frank Oz, the king of puppets, doesn't have a voiced character in this.
I mean, when he's with the Henson team, he's just one of the team.
That's fair. That's crazy to think about, though.
It's his little home family.
So cool. This movie is such a bizarre thing. Like, we talk about art. Like this,
Sure.
This I feel is art in a pure form,
Sure.
Like it was a team that went out to try and make the vision come true of the writer and the director, And at the time it wasn't appreciated, it didn't do too well. But like most art, it kind of grows fairer with time. And now you look at it and just the majesty of the sets and the characters. I can't even put words to what I'm trying to say, What did you think about the David Bowie songs?
I love David Bowie. The songs are a strange. It couldn't work without them. But they're just a little strangely, like they're not written as musical theater numbers are traditionally written.
Right.
Like they're more rock symbolic than actual plot symbolic.
Yeah. I will admit, though, that this whole weekend, after having watched it again, I'll be sitting there and then just dance, magic dance, magic dance, magic dance. It just always pops into my head.
Yep.
But all the other songs are so melodramatic.
Well, yeah.
You know? God bless David Bowie. Rest in peace. His eyes are so interesting.
Yep.
And you know why his eyes are offset, right? Or off-colored, right?
Because one is dilated.
Yep. For the longest time, I thought he had heterochromia, but
Right.
I think it was a head injury or something that caused his left eye pupil to dilate, and it never came back.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane. That's crazy to think about. Like having your eye completely dilate and then not come back.
Yeah.
I wonder how that affected his vision, you know? Like,
yeah, I have no idea.
You know, I don't think I've ever read or seen anything about him talking about it. So, wonder if I can find something on that. Who knows?
There must be something somewhere, right?
I'm sure, yeah. I just have to put the effort in to find it. All right, so you got any final thoughts before we wrap up?
This is sort of tangential, but there's so much good Labyrinth merchandise on Etsy, guys. There's so much. If you like this movie, go support some little artists on Etsy buying stuff, because there's so much of it, and it's all so good. I've almost spent a fortune on stuff. I haven't, but I've almost done it.
Well, I know that from personal experiences with my birthday gift that they are not only adorable, but very high quality things.
Yeah.
You know, the baby Ludo is so intricate and beautiful, and I have it set up on my computer mount just so I can look at it when I'm working on my computer. It is so cool and so adorable. Go out and support a local artist, especially during these hard times. You know, people always think about the big businesses shutting their doors and stuff like that, but then there's the gig workers, the independent artists that are being hurt just as bad. You know, the fairs and the, you know, street markets are all gone right now, and so they have nowhere to sell their art and their wares. You know, if you have the ability, definitely go out and try and support a local artist. I think that would make their day. What?
Speaking of local artists and places you can support them.
I wasn't going to go there, but I mean, you know, if you're feeling it, if you're feeling the love, patreon.com/casual cinephilia.
Bring me to our wonderful patrons.
Yes.
We've got Jenny. We've got Jake.
Jenny. Thank you, Jake.
And we've got Pam.
Thank you, Pam.
The
you
best
guys are
people.
Awesome. We love you guys so much. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And
I think...
Speaking of another Patreon thing, because movies keep getting pushed back and we're not getting out of our house anytime soon, we're going to continue to do votes.
So you'll have 1 week from today, the day this is released, to go to our Patreon. Anyone can vote whether or not you're a patron. It's open to everyone. Go vote on what our next episode will be. We'll probably have a few more of these, so get excited.
We're doing a slight little refresh on some of the available movies to vote on. So check it out to see what the new options are for you to vote.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's patreon.com/casual cinephilia. You don't need to be a patron to vote.
Yes. Correct.
Yeah. Just restating what you've probably already said 2 or 3 times already.
I don't remember. I'm tired.
Neither do I. So I'm going to say it again.
Great.
Anyways, you know, I just want to end it with my final thought of the best line